Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. So, this is kind of just going to be a rambling video about nothing. And you may be saying to yourself, all your videos are rambling videos. I'm just going to cover a kind of range of topics that have crossed my mind lately. Some stupid, some a little more important. But just talking with you guys, and, if you want to leave anything in the comments, any thoughts or ideas, please feel free. So, one thing is, I've noticed, even myself, tending to look at YouTube more towards wanting video, wanting captured gaming content. Anytime I've put up my videos, and I don't get usually a huge response on my videos. It's more of a personal thing I do for fun. You get the person every so often who tunes in and says, this is terrible, why aren't you capturing footage? Or, I like the way you talk, or I like, your video, but instead of just showing a video on camera and putting it, a game on camera and putting it down, you should really capture footage and, edit and this and that. And, part of me gets that because I know when I look to watch a review, usually I will want to watch something with video clips from the game, maybe someone talking over it. However, if the person is interesting enough, and I'm not saying I am, that's fine too. I do usually tend to veer towards people with clips. But there are certain people that I could just hear talk. Shenmuso comes to mind. Pro B-Man 5, Shock 16. Lots of you guys, If you could just talk about a game and explain it to me, that's usually good enough. So, that was one thing I wanted to just touch upon, because I have gotten the couple comments or Reddit comments, on my videos. I rarely post to Reddit, but once in a while, like the Sega CD section. And speaking of Sega CD, I feel bad almost that this channel, which started from my website, all about Sega CD content, has now become a catch-all for movies, other consoles, music, shit I just like. And I don't know if that turns people off because they're coming in here for purely Sega CD content and they're getting annoyed that I'm rambling about movies and music and life or whatever. So tell me what you think of that. I don't want to change the channel name. I feel like at this point the channel name is cool. I've always, it's immature. I created the, and I'm going to do a video all about this soon. I created the channel, or excuse me, the website in 2001. And in hindsight, it's a dumb name. Sega CD Universe. What am I getting at? But keep in mind, in 2001, which was 15 years ago, I think I was like 16 or 17, I wanted to talk about this console that not many people were talking about and have a universe built around Sega CD. The YouTube channel has now went off into other directions and other tangents to where I don't know if that's really appreciated, but there's really nothing I could do about that now. And I do still like to talk about Sega CD, of course. I still have my system hooked up. I recently disconnected the 3DO when I got my Wii U just to make room. And if I ever do get the Switch or something else, I will most likely pull my Blu-ray player out and just use my Xbox as my Blu-ray player and then hook up the Switch or the whatever else in the future comes out that I decide to get. So that's a couple things. Another thing is, and again, I'm just jumping topics here, but feel free to weigh in. Another thing is Patreon. I had a friend who I've spoken to over the years via email. Check him out on YouTube. His name is Grumpy Bear Plays. And Grumpy Bear's name is Tyrone. Tyrone is from, I want to say Texas. It could be Arizona. I'm sorry. I always forget. I mix those, southern sort of, mid states up sometimes, but I think hot and more cowboy-ish in my head, so I mix them up. Is it Nevada? Actually, it might be Nevada, because he talks to me once in a while about casinos. It might be Nevada. So anyway, which isn't even close. So, he'll email me from time to time with an interesting article or a Sega CD thing or a Sega Saturn thing, and I always appreciate when people reach out to me, because even if my words back to people are terse or short, I'm not trying to be rude. Sometimes I'm at work, so I'll tend to be in work mode and I'll not get as involved in my answers, but I always do appreciate the comments and the texts and the comments on the videos and the emails and everything else. So please don't ever take it as me being rude. I do love talking to everyone. But he said to me, have you ever thought of setting up a Patreon? And for those who don't know, a Patreon is like a tip jar. It's something that people put up, and if you have a YouTube channel or some other form of whatever media you do, people can look on and say, oh, Sega CD Universe is creating videos talking about garbage. I really like his videos. I'm going to give him $1 a month, just as an example. That's what people do. So on top of getting ad revenue from YouTube and whatever network they're on, or whatever else they're doing, maybe besides YouTube, I would assume you can use Patreon for other things, probably art and other shit. People have this. So he said to me, have you ever thought of making a Patreon? I would donate $5 a month to you. And I was shocked because, first off, knowing Tyrone and Grumpy Bear Plays, aka Grumpy Bear Plays, he's a really nice guy. His opinions on certain things are forward, but his opinions tend to agree with mine a lot. So his forwardness doesn't bother me by any means, but his forwardness carried out into this comment. And I was shocked because I've never looked at my channel as something that is deserved, warrants getting money from Patreon. If you're watching my video and I'm getting a couple cents from ad revenue, cool. I've never looked at it as this guy out there might want to give me $1 or $2 or $5 in Tyrone's case a month for my YouTube channel. I don't edit. I don't put a lot of work into my videos. I just talk off the cuff. Some people enjoy it. Some people probably hate it and never watch me again. So, thank you, Tyrone. That was a very nice compliment. I just would like to tell you that. So again, please check out Grumpy Bear Plays. But it made me think, why don't I have a Patreon? Am I against them? Do I hate them? Am I for them? I've never fully thought about it. The only time I've thought about it is when people have asked me. And again, it all falls back to, I don't feel I put out content that's quality enough to deserve your money. Tell me what you think about that. That's just my thought. I mean, it's a cool idea. Like, if someone says, hey man, here's $10, pick this up and review it or something, like, that's cool. I would do that. But do I essentially think someone wants me to sit there and film my TV or just ramble on with no game footage because they sent me $10 to buy a new game or whatever? I don't know. It's a weird concept to me. And to tie it in a little bit with other thoughts, there's a fairly popular YouTuber who, he's not really very mainstream. I'm not going to name names, but recently, over the years, he's really made fun of, badly, people who e-beg. And the other day on Facebook, and I'm not shitting on him for this. Not that he's going to watch this anyway. I highly doubt he watches me. But the other day he said on Facebook, hey man, I have this personal problem to everyone. I'm about to give up YouTube if some of you like motherfuckers don't start donating money. Pretty much in that way. The personal problem was something with his car. So he's flat out just over the years bashed on people e-begging. I guess he works, doesn't make enough money, probably makes a little bit of ad revenue off of his network, and is looking to get a little more money out of the deal to fix his car. To each their own, If you want to donate to this guy, cool. If you don't, whatever. That's another thing. I don't see it as like, this is not my job. This is for fun and personal. And I made a lot of great friends about, doing it, and that's really it. I don't look at it as, oh, I'm making money. Okay, I might make, I don't know, $20 a month on ad revenue. That's cool. $20 towards a game, $20 towards a movie, or something I want to buy to talk about. But it's not like I'm asking people directly for money. So that kind of ties in with me. So anyway, he ended up getting, I guess, what he needed. He started arguing with some people. Some people were saying, why are you e-begging when you make fun of it all the time? Some people were saying, I'm sorry, I'm broke, I'm a student, I'm poor, I'm this, I'm that. Some people were like, I am poor, but here's $10. Then you had people who said, oh, no problem, here's 50 or whatever. So he ended up making ends meet, and he did what he had to do. I did find it kind of strange that after all these years, he's now flat out saying, like, pretty much, F you guys, I'm not making any more content unless you guys give me money to fix my car. So I thought that was kind of strange, and his approach was very negative in a way. And to be frank, and I like this YouTuber in terms of his content to me sometimes does get stale because it's all kind of a one-trick pony. It's very loud, brash, making fun of, scenarios that he makes up on video that will never happen. The guy's about 120 pounds soaking wet. He's like 6'4", 6'2", tall guy, but I mean, he's not threatening. He has a very effeminate look to him. So for him to come out and start, like, in his videos, he's always like nasty initially, and like it's in like a joking manner, almost like a Jay and Silent Bob type of thing. The way Jay comes across. So anyway, that was just neither here nor there. That was sort of tying in with the Patreon thing. I just thought it was a funny coincidence. I was thinking about it. He mentioned it. Voila. There was one more thing I wanted to touch upon. So Steve Richards from Retro Unlimited. Why aren't these people moving? He had asked me recently to actually be a part of his team, which houses some really great YouTubers, and I thought that was again, another compliment I was shocked by. I almost didn't know how to respond to him, and I hope I'm saying it right. It's Retro and Lim. It's mainly British guys, but they do have some American people like Dean from Vinnie Corleone 62, Escape to Gaming. I want to say Scott Bailey, Steve Horton, Dave Wade. A lot of people are part of this group, and all it is it's the NWO of YouTube. They're just a group of good guys that share each other's videos and talk, and that's it. They have common interest in terms of liking nerdy shit. So I'm still kind of mulling that over, and I told Steven that. Hopefully he watches this. I would like to say thank you to him for putting that out there. Either way. The reason I'm mulling it over, and I told him this, is I find myself lacking the motivation lately, and this happens to everyone, to make content. And I've had content queued up for the past few months, to where I'll do a video and queue it up one after the other once a week, and no one knows this. I was sick the past 2 weeks with some weird cold, then I had some weird stomach thing, so I didn't feel like making videos. But luckily I had content queued up. Since it's kind of a weird catch-all channel, I've never wanted to give myself too much of a schedule, though I try to do one a week, one every other week. But I haven't had the motivation. I haven't said, ooh, I really want to buy this and show it off. I used to, buy Sega Saturn games, especially imports, and talk about ones I picked up, or film the screen and show people what I bought and see what they thought of the gameplay, even though it's very low-tech. The way, oh Jesus, why is his name? Dave Waits does it, but also, oh my God, why is his name escaping me? British guy with a mustache and glasses, older. He rambles a lot. He plays games badly. Anyway, I like his channel a lot, and he shouted me out before. I apologize. And so I don't know. I don't know if I should take a small break or just do them as I feel them, kind of, and then go from there. What do you guys think? I mean, I still, enjoy showing off what I buy. I like talking about music. It's really when the mood strikes, and I've always kept it that way. But lately, it seems like the mood is striking less. So, it just so happened the other day, Keithy Huntington, called me out on Facebook and said, hey, I really wanted to see what you thought about the Nintendo Switch. Please do a video. And that inspired me to do a video. And it did. I was like, oh, cool. someone gives a shit, I'll do a video. So, what do you guys think about all this? What do you think about my lack of motivation? Maybe, less content. What do you think about Patreon? What do you think about people like asking for money online? I find that sort of strange sometimes. Speaking of asking for money online and thinking of like big YouTubers like Review Tech USA, for instance, this guy Rich, who I like his channel, he does this for a living. And I feel, and this is kind of a tangent, that the YouTube bubble is going to burst someday. I don't understand how these people are actually making a living on YouTube. I think, again, they have to really, put time into editing, put time into content, really, stay on top of the latest trends, get video capturing footage, be likable. Hopefully I have at least the likable part, but I'm not even sure about that sometimes. So there's a lot of things into that. Then you have people like PewDiePie who are making, I think, like, he's worth millions. So I think it's like millions or hundreds and hundreds of thousands a year off of yelling at a camera, and yelling at a video game while he's getting scared on camera. And, he's now crossed into other nations to where each nation watches him, and that just grows his fan base. So I eventually do think the YouTube bubble will burst in terms of people being able to work purely just at YouTube. I have friends like Adam Koralik who do editing and things for other channels, so I would assume he makes money elsewhere. He's now being flown into, let's say like Ubisoft headquarters to show off the new, I think it was like Assassin's Creed or Watch Dogs 2. So there is a way into the industry, it seems, via YouTube. And, Pro Jared, I just did an interview with Reggie from Nintendo. So it's feasible, but it also seems like we're really watered down, and it's most likely very difficult, even if you do make good content, to have a job doing YouTube. And the financial stability and stability in general, just to do YouTube, is scary. Like, these people really either have to have monetarily something to lean up on, some kind of nest egg, or really have a lot of subscribers and a lot of views that they can afford to make money off of this. I mean, it's tough. I can't even imagine. Let alone you don't have insurance. You're not working a normal schedule. Maybe you're a loner kind of guy, and all you do is you're home, YouTube, go food shopping, and go home, and then that's it. You don't have social interaction. Maybe you're making videos at 3 a.m. So that might be depressing for some people, I would assume. I don't know. I've just been thinking a lot about YouTube in general, and I really do think it's going to pop. I think that eventually people are going to have to go out and get conventional sort of jobs. Maybe in that area, maybe with editing, or, I know Keith E. Huntington's job has something to do with editing in real life. And I say in real life because YouTube doesn't seem like real life sometimes. It just seems like an outlet that you either are very good at, that people get hooked on, or it just doesn't seem. I know people will argue with me about this, and I'm not downing it. I'm just saying I don't see it lasting forever. Whether that be a change on YouTube's end, or a change on whether people still like you and tune in or donate on Patreon. I've heard people say, screw you. It takes me hours to edit and hours to come up with footage and hours to play these games, and I hardly make shit. Or I make a ton of money and this is my job. So the difference is staggering. But yeah, so that was really it. Just kind of throwing all this stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks and seeing what people think. So that's it. Leave a comment, drop me an email. Thank you guys for watching. As always, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.